Sri Shankar Maharaj, Chapter 35, Meeting of Ascetics. Sri Shankar Maharaj had met numerous ascetics and saints in his lifetime. He respected and honored well-learned ascetics who followed the path of good deeds and humanity, but opposed hypocritical ascetics. As he himself was a great ascetic, he could easily differentiate between true and hypocritical ascetics. Once, an old sage came to meet Sri Shankar Maharaj. Both of them greeted each other with love and affection and had a hearty laugh. Everybody was surprised to see their behavior because they were just laughing without saying a single word. Maharaj hugged the sage heartily and the sage walked away quietly without being noticed. Maharaj, addressing the people, explained that the sage was a learned man, and if they would have observed his face, they would have noticed the sharpness of his spiritual knowledge. He also added that if the sage decides to express his views to the people, he would give great philosophical knowledge of the world. Once, Jagadguru J. Krishnamurti had visited Pune to give a talk to the people on spiritual knowledge. After attending the talk, he returned to the Pune railway station. Sri Shankar Maharaj had come to meet him at the station. Both of them shared their knowledge by having a hearty talk. Before leaving, Maharaj put a garland of tulsi leaves around Jagadguru J. Krishnamurti's neck and greeted him by giving a hug with love and affection. In the same way, Maharaj had met Avatar Sri Meher Baba. Both of them talked wholeheartedly. Dhyana Ratna, that is having great knowledge of law, Maharshi Dundi Shastri Vinod of Alibag had met Sri Shankar Maharaj in Mehendale's bungalow at Pune. Maharshi Vinod had written a great book on spiritual knowledge in the Marathi language by the name Dwalagiri. This book was later translated by Mrs. Joyce Belakovich in English by the name Towards the Center. Sri Mali Maharaj had met numerous sages and ascetics in the mountain ranges of Himalayas, but his meeting with Sri Shankar Maharaj gave him great spiritual knowledge. He strongly believed that the meeting was a God's gift for him. According to him, Maharaj was the chosen one and amongst the best of the sages and ascetics he had met. Maharaj had also blessed his life and given him the knowledge of self. A very learned man in spiritual knowledge by the name Sri Govind Swami Upelakar from Palthan had a great knowledge of self. He had visited Mahandale's bungalow at Pune to meet Sri Shankar Maharaj. He was very pleased to meet Maharaj. He paid homage to Maharaj. Sri Shankar Maharaj then shared his divine views on spiritual knowledge with Sri Upelakar. As Sri Shankar Maharaj respected true ascetics, he hated hypocritical ascetics and taught them a lesson. A sage from Hyderabad was a devotee of Maharaj. He had the feeling that he was greater than the rest of the devotees of Maharaj. In order to remove his pride, Maharaj visited Hyderabad from Nagar. The sage welcomed Maharaj with love in his hermitage. Maharaj asked for a bucket of boiling hot water. The sage obeyed accordingly. Maharaj had a bath with the boiling hot water. Everybody was surprised that there was not a single blister or scar on Maharaj's body, though he had a bath with boiling hot water. Maharaj had kept some boiling hot water in the bucket and ordered the sage to have a bath with the hot water. The sage got frightened and was not ready to have a bath with boiling hot water. The sage was smart enough to understand that Maharaj had performed this act to remove his pride. The sage caught hold of Maharaj's feet and apologized. The sage's conceit was completely gone and he became more sincere in gaining spiritual knowledge. As the trees bend down with the weight of the fruits of flowers, in the same manner, a learned man becomes more kind and polite by gaining the true path of spiritual knowledge. Jai Shankar Maharaj.